The one thing Baker does, like, what does Baker do, like, that would make him really good at quarterback as opposed to just a good quarterback? To me, he makes good decisions with the ball, and that's like, what
Baker,
I said.
man.
What I said, like, I agree. I don't think he's great, but if you make the
why
the
do you
best
think he's
decisions, the
great?
fastest.
Well, see,
He has a chance to be great. Why do we always start conversations off with like, well, he's not great? I'm like, well,
because
he
by
can
that,
grow
hold on,
into
wait.
that.
Because if you take any population, you could put them on a bell curve. Some of them are going to be really bad compared to most. Some of them are going to be really good, and most will fall somewhere in the middle. So by definition, in the NFL as a starting quarterback, there can only be but so many elite.
I hear you, but I feel like you limit his upside.
I hear that.
He's still growing.
He's got a good
he's still
arm.
growing into it.
He's got a good arm. He's pretty accurate. He makes good decisions with the ball. He does it quickly. I agree.
Yeah.
But what do you consider great, though, Max? Because people throw great around. I said this the other day to y'all. You throw great around like it's a box of M&Ms. I don't.
Well,
there's
Patrick
only
Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and
handful
Tom
of
Brady,
people.
and Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson are great. And then there are.
But let me ask you a question though. Why is it that they're great for their teams?
Thank you.
But Baker is not great
His
for
team.
his team.
Because they have a premium in terms of production at that position that Baker has not yet given his team. And I believe if you put any of the four guys I just mentioned on the Browns, they'd be a better team.
3 years.
Right.
Four
so he's
different
not,
head coaches.
Exactly. So based on his resume and where he is at that moment, you cannot call him great. But if Patrick Mahomes retired today, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. He's played for 3 or 4 years.
Patrick Mahomes also had Andy Reid, one of the most prolific offensive coaches, to help him.
My man, he could have had you or me, and he'd be great.
You see, Key, that's where I don't know about
I'm not
that,
gonna say
man.
that because if I go back to college at Texas Tech,
I don't know about that.
I'm just gonna leave that alone. Andy Reid has a lot, along with Eric Bieniemy, to do with the Patrick Mahomes that we see.
I'm not saying he didn't make him better. What I'm saying is there are a handful of guys who I think would be. Most guys are very dependent on their situation. Most guys are. Hold on a second. Most guys are very dependent on their situation. I get it. And Mahomes is better for his situation than in another one, right? But there are some guys who, no matter where they would have gone, they were going to succeed.
Is Tom Brady one of those guys?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
I don't know
about
that to be true, though, Max. I don't, because if that was the case, Patrick Mahomes would have been the number 1 pick overall.
Thank you.
Instead of going where he went.
Why?
So clearly, people didn't see him as we see him today.
Some did,
but
just not the majority.
He wouldn't have went where he went if those people ahead of Kansas City thought that Patrick Mahomes was better than Mitch Trubisky.
We don't.
Because they didn't
some
clearly
people thought.
see
Can't
that.
even bring it back to Tom Brady. If Tom Brady came, I'm not saying that Tom couldn't be successful, but if Bill Belichick didn't find Tom in the draft and have confidence in his system, I mean, that system helped him, get 6 Super Bowls.
No, I think there's something in Tom Brady that no matter where he would have went, eventually he'd have been a successful NFL quarterback.
No, it grew.
I agree.
Hey, Michael Jordan had Doug Collins.
Better.
Michael Jordan had Doug Collins. He got Phil Jackson in that system. Boom.
Michael Jordan with Doug Collins was averaging 37
He was,
points
but he
a game.
wasn't a champion.
But he didn't have any All-Stars with him. He had no All-Star. First time Jordan got another All-Star, he almost won the championship, and then he never didn't again.
All I'm saying, Key, I think you and I are on the same side here. Let's not act like system doesn't have a huge role.
No, all I'm saying is I don't want Max to just dismiss Baker Mayfield as a great quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. It works for them in their system and what they do. I had this conversation yesterday with Stephen A. on First Take about elite quarterbacks. You brought up the word elite. And I said to him, well, if that's the case, Derek Carr is elite. The guy's thrown for over 4,000 yards 3 straight years in a row. It's not his fault that the defense is hot garbage.
Well, hold on. You're saying a whole lot here. If you put Patrick Mahomes on the Browns, I think they would have done better than they did last year. And the reason I think that is because they have a better quarterback. In other words, Key, if you're saying you can't say Patrick Mahomes is better than Baker Mayfield,
I can say that. I get that.
Patrick Mahomes is better than Baker Mayfield.
So there are degrees of this.
But we also had Patrick Mahomes with a different type of team and a different coach and a different system.
Okay.
They don't lean heavy on the run. They utilize the passing game way more than the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns utilize the run game way more than the Kansas City Chiefs.
And independent of all that, who's better, Mahomes or Baker?
Mahomes.
Depending on what flavor you
really?
Man.
You have to. I don't think it depends on what flavor.
I also didn't see Patrick Mahomes have Hugh Jackson and Freddie
does.
Kitchens as head coaches as well.
Yeah.
Like,
all right,
come on, man.
Let's do this.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Go through them, Keith.
You guys
go through all 4 head coaches he had in different OCs.
In 2 seasons in 1 game. Yeah, I get that. I've made that point many times. You guys can be on team. You can't say Mahomes is better than Baker Mayfield. And I'll be on team. I think you can.
I did not say he was not. I said he is.
Oh, okay, good.
But don't act like if you put him, you just drop him somewhere, and they all of a sudden getting ready to be just world beaters again. It does not work like that, Max. It does not. You have to be in the right situation, in the right circumstances, as I've said many times on this show to my colleagues prior to you.
Well,
see, this is great conversation.
Bill Parcells doesn't walk in the building, the New York Jets, who knows where Keyshawm Johnson would be?
You were the number 1 overall pick.
I was messing with Richie Kotite. Yeah. People thought I couldn't play dead in a cowboy movie until Bill Parcells arrived, and then all of a sudden he unleashed.
But you're arguing a straw man. I'm not making the you're arguing against someone who's not making the argument I'm making.
I'm not arguing.
But you're conversating with someone who's not making the point you claim they're making. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is you can create a hierarchy of quarterbacks in the league. Yes, the situation matters. But to give you an example of what I mean, unless you have Aaron Rodgers, right? What team wouldn't want Patrick Mahomes instead of their quarterback? So I'm taking every situation in the league. Okay. If these teams could just give you their guy and get Patrick Mahomes, who's not doing that?
I think both sides are right here, okay? And I never say that. But I get your point. If you were to exchange Baker Mayfield for Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers right now, yes, I would rather have those 2 quarterbacks or Russell Wilson, yes.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.